Hello, I'm Zerift, and welcome to this review of the Undying Warlock. Now, a lot of you have been noting why have I put some videos up. I'm still dealing with a lot of issues. The aftermath of the stream, the grieving over my dog, um, uh, setting up, making sure everything's all right for the campaign this weekend. So those of you who don't know, yeah, for those of you who don't know, my dog died recently. Uh, uh, and we have two campaigns. They're going to be bi-weekly. One will be 1 week, and one will be the other, and then we'll switch between them. One is Desert Desolation, which is already uploaded to my channel. I'm sorry, it was split into two parts. The stream died during it, and we hopefully fixed it so it won't happen again. And then, and the other one is Dragonlance 5e, and I'll be DMing that one, and I'll be in the DM seat this time. It'll be this weekend, 7:30 to 10:30 U.S. Central Time. So today I will be doing something a little different. I was requested to do this video review of the Undying Warlock, which is a class I actually have played. And it is and yeah, so it's a little crazy for a class. It's a little crazy, but of all the Warlock classes, subclasses, Undying, I can honestly say, out of the 5, is my favorite. It's part, I wouldn't say healish, but it's more supportive. More support. Like you have Among the Dead that gives you Spare to Die as a bonus cantrip. Or no, it's a cantrip. And you have spells like False Life that gives you temporary hit points. You have this ability that can bring, when someone's unconscious, only when they're unconscious, bring them back up and give them a certain amount of hit points when they're up. And things like that nature. You get abilities where you get undead have to make a saving throw whether or not they can attack you. They have, and that's 1/2 of it. 1/2 is the support kind of. I don't want to quite say healish. I don't want to say healer because it's not a healer technically, because it doesn't heal any points. It only gives you temporary hit points and brings you back up from being unconscious, like with Spare to Dying, or the ability to bring you back up. But the other side of it is it's also very much a controller. It can do spells like blindness, deafness, silence, stuff like that. But it also does abilities like that, and, well, spells like that. And I found I play more of a controller type than because when you do have healers in the party, you rarely have to cast Spare to Dying. You rarely have to bring them back up with certain hit points. You rarely have to do that stuff. You're more on the Warlock fighting on the sidelines, like casting Blindness to Deafness on this creature, or silence on a bunch of spellcasters casting a ritual. Things of that nature. But my most favorite thing about it is the most interesting side of it is the sort of mythology behind it. What exactly is the Pact of the Undying, and what is the price to be paid for it? Because if it's a warlock, it's not a warlock if you don't have a price to it. Like I said in my Celestial Warlock video. Um, Basically, the Pact of Undying is the Pact of Immortality. It's the Pact for eternal life. It's basically when you're taking this pact, you're trying to live forever. And the question a lot of people get confused about is like, well, what's your patron? Is it? And now, a lot of people make the mistake of this being the thinking it's undeath. It's not undeath. It's eternal life, not undeath. Because your patron doesn't necessarily has to be like a lich. It can be, the way the book describes it, it can range from a demigod to a powerful lich or something, but it has to be a being, for this to work, it has to be a being that's achieved eternal life. So that's where it gets crazy. So it's not necessarily a demon. It's not necessarily a great old one. It's not an archfey. It's the Undying. It's the people who have managed to live forever. Though I have seen, and now the price, let's start there. The price is that is in itself is, and this is where it gets a little confusing, and it's not, doesn't explain this well in the book, but basically the price is the gift of immortality. So when, as a DM, it should, basically the thing they obtain is basically should be set up as it's not all it's cracked up to be. Like, it's not all it's cracked up to be living forever. Like, it talks about how everything moves in a blink of an eye. And it's like everything seems to fade for them very quickly and so forth, and things like that. But I think the other side of it is what makes it so fun, and especially I had a DM who had loads of fun. Me and him had loads of fun with this character, the Undying Warlock I had, because basically it's so open to interpretation because there's so much mystery surrounding it. Because we don't know that much about it, so we get to fill in the gaps, so to speak. And that's what makes it so much fun. That's why we had so much fun. He actually, I made a Drow Warlock, and he made it interesting where my patron, which the way I play him is I don't know who my patron is. That's for the DM to know and reveal later, because it makes it that much more fun. And it revealed that it was actually, for my Drow Warlock, it was the god Veyron, who wants to overthrow love. So that was fun and interesting, and but he made it his own way and made it more interesting, like as a shadowy figure that we don't understand and so forth. And I thought I thought about if I were to take Pact of the Blade, his weapon would have been a scythe to fit in the whole Undying thing. So, yeah, and basically, not to share too much on the story, but basically, yeah, that's the gist of it. Is that if you don't know how to role play it or I think that's where I'm getting at. Is if you don't know how to roleplay it, or for a DM how to run it, don't look at the glass as half empty. Look at it as half full, and say, I can fill what I want in here. Now, I also urge caution because you don't want to get the player riled up and say, oh, well, I want it to be Orcus or something, because that would be too similar to Pact of the Fiend or something like that. So, and it's not Pact of the Fiend, it's Pact of the Undying. It's not Undeaf, it's the Undying. It's the gift and curse of immortality. Everything, all the good and horrible things that come with it. That's basically what the Undying is. And but as a review, I had loads of fun playing with it. I enjoyed it. Not just from a mechanical aspect, but from a role playing aspect of playing a class that's so shrouded in mystery. Basically, it's not as cut dry as the other packs are. And I think that's what makes it more interesting. Its mechanics were very interesting. They play very differently than, say, Fiend Warlock, where you just have damage spells, or Archfey, where it's just charming spells and Fairy Fire and things like that, or the Great Old Ones, where you can read minds and stuff. So yeah. Next to the Great Old One, it's one of my favorites. And I think if you're looking for something, a class that's very different from just being, a damage class, or a something that's, it's something that's like not cut and dry, I would recommend this class for you. But if you're looking for more like a cut and dry class, there are other classes you can try, like not necessarily Warlock, but much heavy hitters like Fighter and stuff like that. But yeah, I would recommend this class to at least try it once, because I had that much fun with it. So, in fact, I would love to play that character again. That's why he's one of my 5. That's all I have to say about the Undying Warlock. This is Zerift signing off.